Shakur know what time it is with me. At the end of the day, he know that my offer was legitimate, and if he wanted to, he really believed in himself, and if he believed that I was everything that he claimed that I was, then he would have took the fight. If he felt like I was so easy, so green, whatever he says, then he would have took the fight. And
ladies and gentlemen, boxing fans, and anyone who enjoys a little chaos with their morning coffee, we need to talk about the fight that somehow refuses to happen while simultaneously becoming bigger every single day.
It's a good fight for boxing. A chance for me to pick up another.
He tweeted, as per Sean Zittel, it's reported the company Zuffa Boxing wants Devin Haney to fight Shakur Stevenson. To everyone's surprise, it's Shakur Stevenson stopping the fight from happening.
Because Devin Haney just threw a fresh bucket of gasoline onto one of boxing's most dramatic rivalries. And the internet immediately transformed into a courtroom, a detective agency.
I wanted to fight him. I caught him out before that fight. It's just all aligned now that I'm a free agent. Well, I was a free agent, and now that I'm with Matchroom, it all came to fruition. It was organic, but it is what it is.
And a reality show all at the same time. Seriously, if you thought this story was cooling off, think again. Because according to Haney, he has what fans are calling the receipt that changes the entire conversation.
Skill, technique, everything
different class
towards Devin. Devin has the advantage.
This is a fight where I go in there and I have fun and I show how.
Now, before anybody starts flipping tables, let's be clear. This is a story built on claims, counterclaims, opinions, and a whole lot of online speculation.
This point yet, but I think in the next year or two, it'll hit a point where it's like the world is gonna demand, you know what I'm saying? I can see the trajectory feels like it could meet like that.
I would love this fight. But look, you gotta watch what you say with and this is not even Devin. Devin is very respectful of my game, and I'm respectful of his game. He's a good fighter. But his fans will clip and twist and turn things into something that is not. So I try to be real careful on what I say.
True, this has got
But that doesn't make it any less entertaining. In fact, it might make it even better. Because here's the question hanging over boxing right now. If Devin Haney and Shakur Stevenson both say they want the fight, why are we still talking about the fight instead of watching the fight?
Hell no.
Yeah.
For me, personally, I'm on a different level than everybody.
Yeah.
And when it comes down to boxing, because Devin, he's a boxer. It's not like he's a stone cold killer who's just gonna go in there and try to knock me the fuck out.
Yeah.
He's gonna try to outbox me. I'm conquering myself. None of these dudes got a chance, so I don't care who you name. Hell of a fighters, I'll never take nothing away from them. I enjoy watching them, but I'm the best. I'm the best.
All right. Well, listen, man, Shakur, I appreciate you.
And trust me, that question only gets messier from here. Apparently, Haney believes the answer is simple. He says the opportunity was there. He says the offer was real. He says the door was open. And according to him, the message he shared proves exactly that. Suddenly, fans weren't talking about rankings, titles, or weight classes anymore. They were talking about screenshots. Screenshot.
It says now that he's moving up in weight. He got stripped of his titles because he said his body can't handle 130 anymore. When we had him on the last stand, he said he would love to fight Devin Haney because, as he put it, quote, it would be a high-stakes chess match. Could you see Devin Haney, now that he's at 135, and Shakur Stevenson getting it on?
Yeah, it's a very likely fight that is going to happen eventually. We just got to see. Now he's at 135. It's getting closer and closer. But it all starts with October 15th. That's my main focus right now, and then we'll go from there.
He said because you guys are two highly skilled fighters, that's why he called it a chess match. How would you see that fight going in the ring?
Yeah, it's definitely a chess match. Shakur has high boxing IQ, so do I. So it makes for a chess match in the ring. Since we were little kids, we've been knowing each other, so we spar.
Imagine explaining that to a boxing fan 20 years ago. The biggest debate in the sport isn't about jabs or footwork, it's about messages. Yet somehow those messages have become the latest chapter in a rivalry that feels less like a boxing match and more like a television series that keeps getting renewed for another season. But wait,
Like, yo, are we ever gonna see it? Are we ever gonna see it?
I don't know. I'm down. I'm down, bro. I'm down. They wanna make it happen, and everybody wants to see the fight. I'm down for the fight to happen. People that we fight in front of will be a business of like, okay, how much money is you getting for this fight? How much money is you getting for this fight? So
Right.
it just boils down to the business of it. But I'll fight any of them guys.
because just when it looked like Haney had seized control of the narrative, another twist appeared. Shakur Stevenson has repeatedly said he's open to the fight. Not maybe, not eventually. Open to it. He has publicly acknowledged that fans want it. He has publicly discussed it. He has publicly described Haney as a skilled fighter. So now everybody is staring at the same puzzle pieces and somehow building completely different pictures. One side says Haney is chasing the fight. Another side says Stevenson is willing to make the fight. And somewhere in the middle, boxing fans are standing there like confused detectives wondering who moved the evidence. And this is where the story gets even more fascinating.
Devin can do to Shakur. Easy. Like when I saw you and I told you Brian Norman was going to be easy, you said easy? I said easy. Right? Was it easy? Didn't I say it was going to be easy? Easy. But I'm saying, I said Shakur is easy work for Devin. I don't want to give away too much, right? I don't want to give away too much because it could be a possible fight next. You know what I'm saying? So I don't really want to say how, right?
We'll get back to this fight then, Saturday.
Yeah.
How? You said, T.O., if
he presses.
I've never seen Shakur as a professional walk down, pump, and physically unable to like get somebody off of him. Have you seen it? I'm saying as a professional.
Yeah, but I've not seen him fight nobody that I would even think is anywhere near no more Devin Haney. Shakur, you ain't seen him fight nobody, Dre. Come on, big homie. Tell me who he fought that you would say that's a level that we should even look at that would be anything remotely to what...
Because the rivalry has evolved beyond a simple matchup. It has become a battle of narratives. Devin Haney says he's been calling for this fight. Shakur Stevenson says he's ready when the circumstances make sense. Bill Haney says Devin has all the advantages. Stevenson says he's on a different level than everybody else. At this point, the fight hasn't even happened, and both sides are already trying to win it. That's the genius of boxing. Sometimes the psychological battle starts years before the opening bell. But hold on, because the internet wasn't satisfied with that level of drama, not even close.
Don't happen because the business part being the particulars that we got to get down to, the small print in the contracts where it say you can weigh this, you can't come back with no heavier than this, or it can say we're gonna fight here, you know what I mean, because it's my home turf or whatever, yeah. And that's what the fight game is about. People be trying to pull strings wherever they can pull them, and sometimes we don't get the fight. I don't think Shakur is scared of Devin Haney. I don't think Devin Haney's scared of Shakur. I just think it's one of them situations. Shakur, like, he naturally a lot bigger than me. I want to at least have some type of advantage. You know what I mean? So if it's bringing him back down, so be it. But, you know, I think that fight, the way it's looking, that fight not going to happen anyway till probably...
The second those comments started circulating, social media transformed into absolute madness. Every tweet became evidence. Every interview became a clue. Every quote became a headline. Fans started dissecting old statements like they were investigating an ancient mystery. Suddenly, people were pulling up interviews from years ago. People were analyzing timelines. People were comparing comments from different podcasts. You would think they were tracking a missing treasure map instead of a prize fight. And somehow, every new piece of information created more questions than answers. Then came what felt like a breaking news moment. Devin Haney didn't just mention Shakur Stevenson.
I feel like, Shakur knows that he's a naturally smaller guy, and he wants to, keep it an even playing field. I mean, what fighter doesn't want to do that? I mean, you could be like, F it, and, grab your nuts like Bud and be like, I don't need no hydration clothes. I'm a better fighter than you. Simple as that. But I don't feel like there's anything wrong with Shakur doing that. Everybody is not going to do what Bud does. Bud is his own fighter. That's what he decided to do, and you know, he got a big reward from that. You know what I'm saying? Because there's no excuses and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, if you don't care about the excuses, it is what it is. On a higher level, he would have known more things to be able to make it a harder fight for Devin Haney. Not to say that Devin Haney would have lost the fight. I still don't think he would have lost the fight. I just think that, yes, it would have been a harder fight.
Also brought Keyshawn Davis into the conversation. Now the story wasn't just one rivalry anymore. It became an entire family tree of potential showdowns. Haney's message immediately sent fans into another frenzy because now everybody was debating what order these fights should happen, who wants what fight first, and which matchup would create the biggest event. Meanwhile, the actual fighters probably couldn't scroll through social media without seeing their names every 5 seconds. And here's where things become truly interesting. The people around boxing don't even agree on what the biggest issue is. Some analysts say it's business.
Devin Haney put on his story the other day that him and Shakur Stevenson will be one of the biggest fights in boxing. You know, a lot of people... No?
No, it wouldn't be a big no. It'd be like a chess match. You gotta have one and the other. You gotta have like a Dworkin and Hitchison. You're gonna have something like that. You gotta have something like that. You know?
Yeah.
That's what you gotta have when it comes to boxing.
Others say it's timing. Others say it's weight classes. Others say it's strategy. One respected voice says negotiations are the real obstacle. Another says competitive advantages matter. Another says fighters naturally want the best conditions possible. In other words, depending on who you ask, the answer changes completely. It's like interviewing 10 witnesses who all saw the same event and somehow got 10 different stories. Then another twist arrives. Some insiders argue the fight might actually become bigger if it waits. Think about that for a second. Most rivalries lose momentum over time. This one somehow gains momentum every year. The longer it survives, the more anticipation grows.
You know, Shakur saying that, you know, that big fight with him and Devin Haney, he needs a rehydration clause.
Devin Haney needed?
No, Shakur Stevenson needs a rehydration clause to fight Devin Haney.
If this that 47, it's that 47, you know? I don't get it. You know, if a fighter can make the weight, they can make the weight.
You know, Shakur had lots to say about Tank, you know, doing rehydration clauses and him doing it now, wanting to do it with Devin Haney. It was kind of like being hypocritical.
The more anticipation grows, the more pressure builds. The more pressure builds, the louder the demands become. It's almost like the fight is developing its own mythology. Every delay adds another chapter. Every debate adds another layer. Every interview creates another headline. At this rate, the pre-fight storyline might need its own championship belt. But don't think the confidence levels are dropping. Far from it. Devin Haney sounds convinced he wins. Shakur Stevenson sounds convinced he wins. Bill Haney sounds convinced Devin wins easily. Stevenson sounds convinced nobody can outbox him. That's what makes the entire situation so fascinating. Nobody involved seems uncertain. Everybody believes they're right. Everybody believes they hold the winning hand. Everybody believes history will eventually prove them correct. And when that happens, somebody's going to be spectacularly right or spectacularly wrong. There is no middle ground left. Then comes the final
advise that you take a fight below your optimal weight. You don't have to do that. And for Shakur, to get the most optimization out of the credit you would receive in beating Devin Haney, you should fight him at his full weight class. So there's no ifs, ands, or buts after you win a potential fight like that. So I think they're both good enough and young enough that they could just do the last man standing thing. Shakur could fight other champions at 140.
That's a fight right there.
It's a great fight.
It is.
It is. You know, and Devin, meanwhile, the Ryan rematch is the biggest fight in his path right now, not Shakur's.
Twist that nobody seems prepared for. What if the biggest winner right now isn't Haney? What if it isn't Stevenson? What if it's the rivalry itself? Think about it. Every interview becomes news, every social media post becomes news, every podcast appearance becomes news, every comment becomes news. The matchup has become so powerful that simply talking about it generates headlines across the sport. That's rare, very rare. Most fights need contracts to create excitement. This one creates excitement just by existing as a possibility. And that might be the most shocking revelation of all. Because while fans argue over screenshots, statements, business negotiations, weight classes, and future plans, something bigger has quietly happened.
How about just wait until Shakur is actually a welterweight? And Devin, I think, is going to be parked at welterweight for some years. I think this is where he was always destined to really park himself at.
Right.
And then as for the fight itself, I think there's if they can keep winning, and that's not a sure thing because they have nothing but quality opposition around them. And so Devin's strong, and if Shakur wins, he gets full credit. And as for who wins that fight, Devin's gonna have to have more volume. When they sparred, Devin found success when he imposed his size and went down.
Haney versus Stevenson has transformed from a boxing match into an idea that refuses to go away, an idea that grows stronger every time somebody discusses it, an idea that keeps pulling fans back into the conversation. So now we're left with the ultimate question. Did Devin Haney's latest message reveal the missing piece of the puzzle? Did it change nothing at all? Or is the real story that both fighters understand exactly how massive this showdown could become, and the boxing world is watching the buildup unfold one dramatic chapter at a time?
How about just wait until Shakur is actually a welterweight? And Devin, I think, is going to be parked at welterweight for some years. I think this is where he was always destined to really park himself at.
Right.
And then as for the fight itself, I think there's if they can keep winning, and that's not a sure thing because they have nothing but quality opposition around them. And so Devin's strong, and if Shakur wins, he gets full credit. And as for who wins that fight, Devin's gonna have to have more volume. When they sparred, Devin found success when he imposed his size and went down.
Because if that's true, then maybe the biggest twist isn't who wants the fight more. Maybe the biggest twist is that every single conversation, every single debate, every single headline has been making the eventual showdown even bigger than anyone imagined. And if that fight finally happens, after all the messages, all the interviews, all the speculation, and all the years of anticipation, will it live up to the legend that the rivalry has already become, or has the story itself become the main event?